Welcome back, y'all. It's another edition of the We Do This Too Outdoors podcast. I'm your host, Courtney Williamson. Got a usual suspect here, Mr. Trey Reed, a.k.a. the Dreaded Archer, a.k.a. Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Shit.
With the Cuban on, you seem, what up, man?
Bruh, chilling, man, bro. Just shit, trying to find some success this hunting season, man. It's been kind of hard for your boy this year, but I'm gonna bounce back. I'll always come through at the end. I'm a late bloomer.
Kobe in the fourth.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm tagged out here in Kentucky, man. Headed to Mississippi to hunt with OG Daryl Holmes down in Mississippi. So we're gonna see how the Mississippi bucks look to them Kentucky bucks. I know they smaller, but we're gonna see what we can get. But
I'm sure the body will be smaller, but I'm sure the racks are all the same.
I don't know. Yeah, I've been watching them Primos boys just to kind of see, because they kind of down there on the Delta, man. They've been killing some monsters down there, man. But they got the money, food plots year round, and all that down there.
They can't hide the money.
They can't hide that.
They can't hide the money, man.
Yeah, man. Christmas is coming up, man. So this will drop on Monday. So Christmas Eve will be, I guess, that Wednesday. So, Christmas, man. Like, what does Christmas mean to you, the Dreaded Archer, man?
Man, for me, it's just a time to get with family, man. Reflect on the year. Have a good time. You know what I'm saying, and of course, celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But I know here, this year and last year, man, like for my family, it's been about giving, man, and taking care of the community. Like where I'm from, man, it's a lot of folks that they've been having a hard time. We had a couple of the big plants around here start doing big layoffs, man, and people really ain't bounced back from it. So starting last year, well, actually, it started a couple years ago. Me and my brother started a little organization called Lucille's Heart, and it's an organization that we basically, people in need, we help them out. So it started with my great grandmother. Growing up, she used to, during holidays, she would make sure that everybody had a meal. You know what I'm saying? If it was Thanksgiving, she was getting on the phone, 2 or 3 days before, and she had a little bitty black book, man, kind of like similar to this thing, like right here. And it just had phone numbers in it, man. Phone numbers after phone number after phone number. So she would get on the phone and she'd call and, hey, what you doing for Thanksgiving? If you ain't, if you're not cooking or, you're having a hard time, come on down to the house and, I'm gonna get you taken care of. So, man, I remember just, growing up, during the holidays, man, we had people coming to the house all the time. And, and when you little, you think everybody come to the house is family. And some of these people weren't even family. They were just, friends and, friends of friends. But they knew Lucille was going, was going to make sure you had a meal, make sure you ate on that holiday. So, like I said, a couple years ago, me and my brother started an organization called Lucille's Heart. And we just want to make sure that families were going to be taken care of during the holidays. So it started for Thanksgiving. And then it kind of rolled over into Christmas because it was so successful. We had so many people hit us up, telling us, hey, I know somebody that needs some help. And then it just rolled over into Christmas. So, we've been making sure people, are taken care of during the holidays, man, especially during Christmas. So really, it's like for my family, man, it's just about giving back, man, because we've all been blessed. So we just want to, turn around and, go and bless other families. So this year for sure, we picked up a family. We for Thanksgiving we did 15 families, and then this year for Christmas we took care of 4 families. So we do it all, get them all the meals, and then this for Christmas, all the kids got gifts and everything. So we really make sure we took care of them. So for me and the Dreaded Archer family, holidays is about family and giving back.
That's what's up. Yeah, we kind of got similar, I guess, stories, man, because growing up, we always went to my Uncle Allen's house, and everybody, like you said, when you little, you think everybody's family. But everybody would come over there, regardless of family or not, man, that house would be packed, and once he died, it wasn't the same no more. But
yeah.
We try to get back, like I say, we've been blessed as well. We try to take care of a couple families that we know around here that need the help, and it's all about giving back with us too, man. That's
Bro,
that's what it is.
it's wild because I had this conversation with my granny a couple days ago, and I was like, it's crazy that growing up, I was raised like me, my mom, my brother and sisters. We all lived with my great grandma. So like coming up, probably till I was about in 5th grade, but like she didn't have a lot. Our house was not big. Like that house that I was raised in can fit in my living room and kitchen. That's how big that house was. But everybody came. I mean, it was so many people. I
Yep.
swear there was hundreds of people in that house, and
Yeah,
it
I get it.
flooded outside to the yard. People came together, and we didn't have nothing, but somehow
Yeah.
grandma made that shit work.
Yeah. My Uncle
It
Allen's
just she made
trailer
it work.
was a single wide trailer, man, that he basically pieced together. I don't know how we all fit in there, but we did, and we was sitting in there and giving out presents to people, and people come over and eat, and everybody's out in the yard. And I'm like, how in the world is or why? Like, are we even having Christmas here of all
Yeah,
places? But
yeah.
but that was the place, man. And even during the week, man, like when it wasn't Christmas, people come over, drop food off, and we'd sit there and have conversations for hours and hours. And cars get brought out. We played a lot of Tonk back then. And we
Oh,
played
bro,
that.
it was spades and dominoes, man. Hey, I used to,
Yeah,
I it's crazy, dude. I grew up around a spades table, but I didn't really learn how to play spades until like probably when I was like 30.
yeah. I was in college when I learned how to play spades, and it got real dangerous. The people I started playing with.
Hey, spades boys, spades dangerous, dude. When I went to Southern Arkansas University my last year in college, and dude, I lived in a dorm, and there was a binder, and that binder had the scores to every single domino game since 1995. Just this binder, bro. Just
Hey,
set sheets of just scores, bro. Score, and I haven't been there in a minute since I graduated. I wonder if it's still there,
I say it would be. That's a
bruh.
tradition,
It like
man.
some games got played. Like I learned how to play dominoes at like when I in the dorms there. So it
Yeah.
was like, bro, you would go back and then like some of the old heads would come back, you know what I'm saying, for like homecoming and stuff. And they be talking about some of the historical domino games that got played and in the events that took place afterwards, and it's like, man, go back and look in the book. May 7, 1997. I was on your ass. Like, man. Like, but dude, it's that tradition, man. And I going back to talking about my grandmother, dude. Like I said, we lived in that small house, but bro, now you look at it, we all did very are doing very well for ourselves, and we got way bigger houses now, and now you can't fill them up. Like no family don't come around no more, man. Like my granny when she have an event, well everybody comes to the events, but like the young generation, we try to host events and stuff. You can't get family to come out. They just don't come like they used to.
This is I don't know, man. It's something about grannies and the older generation. No,
Bro,
it's that respect.
they hold the family together, man. And it's like
Yeah.
and it's hard for like that generation, they were all close just due to, the times and stuff. But like I know some of the cousins that I grew up with, I'm not even cool with. Like we don't talk. Like
Hmm.
like on my dad's side, dude, it's like real beef. Well, they got real beef. And I couldn't tell you what it's about. But then even like the cousins on my mom's side, like I'll talk to them on the phone, but we not close. Like, I look at my granny and her cousins, like, bro, they like sisters. They like
Yeah.
brothers and stuff. They really look out for each other. They can call each other and get along. I don't think I could call one of my cousins and get along. And I know damn well they call me, they still ain't get nothing from me.
Right.
So it's
Yeah,
just a different generation, and and they stuck together, due to the circumstances they was raised up in, different times in America. So it all
yeah,
makes sense,
yeah. We got beef on both sides of the family on about stuff that would happen I wouldn't even thought of.
bro. I'm telling you,
Like, why are y'all beefing about this 45, 50 years later? Like, y'all, this is stupid.
bro.
We got little
Sometimes,
cliques in the family, man.
yep,
Like, it's stupid, man.
and bro, sometimes people be beefing so long that they forgot about what they even beefing with. They just know it's beef.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's crazy. Yeah, everybody out there, man. I hope y'all have a Merry Christmas, man. Happy New Year. Good luck in the hunting woods and everything. But we gonna switch gears. So Trey sent me and my best friend Holden. Did you send it or did Holden send it?
I sent it.
Yeah, he sent us. I'm gonna read it. Billionaire who attempted to limit public access to public land now owns KUIU. That billionaire is tied to a very public fight in Montana where people legally floating and accessing navigable public waters were challenged because those waters ran past his property. Under Montana law, the public has the right to use those waters, but lawsuits and pressure were used in an attempt to push people out anyway. That alone should matter to hunters, anglers, and anyone who believes conservation means access, not inclusion. What made this blow up nationally is what happened next. A longtime writer connected to Ducks Unlimited wrote critically about the situation and questioning why a so called conservationist was trying to stop the public from using public waters and was promptly fired after the article ran. That sent a clear message to a lot of people in the hunting world. Criticize powerful conservation money and your voice can disappear. So now that this same billionaire conservation money owns a major hunting brand, it's fair to ask the uncomfortable question: is it a really good idea for a conservationist who uses his money to kick people off public land to own a hunting brand as big as KUIU? So when this article first started circulating, the first dropped, what was your initial reaction?
So when I first saw it, I felt like the guy that wrote it, he left a lot. Like there's a lot of stuff missing, because when I first read it, I'm like, is he the one that was that was helping trying to sell off public land? Then the more I kept reading, I was like, okay, well he's not that guy. He is his is a particular situation that's going on in Montana. But I was shocked because they kept calling him a conservationist, but in my book, a conservationist wouldn't be trying to block people from, access. That's access is one of our biggest issues in the hunting world. So how can you call yourself a conservationist and you're out here suing, trying to change laws or put pressure on lawmakers to limit access to a waterway that runs through your property? And then the
Yeah,
thing that got me is, I forgot the guy's name. The guy from Ducks Unlimited who wrote the article and then lost his job. Now, I had to go do my research and found out a whole lot more about, what took place with that. But it just rubbed me wrong, because it's like we're constantly fighting to preserve our right to hunt, on public lands. But now you have people out here that claim to be conservationists, but on the other hand, I'm a conservationist, but not when it comes to land near me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Do you think like some people like underestimate how much public like access matters to like your average hunter who doesn't own any land? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because it's like this. If you are a person that has X amount of acres, you're not too concerned about public access. You don't care because you have access to your private land. So it's kind of one of those things, out of sight, out of mind. I'm not worried about it, therefore it's not my issue. So I think so people who have access to a lot of land, yeah, they definitely underestimate, the importance of public land to hunters that don't have the ability to go out and buy land, or just that heavily rely on public land hunting.
Yeah. And like you hunt multiple states, I'm just now starting to hunt multiple states. Like for the listeners out there, man, like how important is it to know like your rights and like basically your rights on public land, where you can go and where you can't go?
Right, that's important. That's one that, like, before I even purchase a tag in the state, I'll make sure I know all they, what I'm saying, their regs, their laws and regulations there. You know what I'm saying? Because the last thing you want to do is, be in another state and thinking that, that the rules in your state apply in this state. It
Right.
sounds like, oh, well, if you're a hunter, you should know that. But you'd be surprised, man. Some people think that, it's all the same everywhere, and it's not.
Yeah.
But man, it's very important. That way you don't get yourself in a bad situation with the law. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to end up on somebody's property, end up shot. I mean, anything can happen. So it's
Yeah.
very important to know, what I'm saying, the rules and regulations, where you're going, and how to navigate, in different states.
So that being said, like poses a question in my mind, like, do you think access issues like this would affect like new hunters and kids that are like getting into the outdoors more than anybody else?
I don't think it affects them. I don't think it will stop somebody from trying to hunt. It'll make you more aware. I think when you see issues like this pop up, it'll make you like, not. I'm not gonna say it make you second guess hunting, but it'll definitely make you like, okay, I need to know more about how to hunt public land. And now if you live in a state like Texas, yeah, access will definitely run your ass off from, or stop you from trying to hunt. When you realize there ain't a lot of public land to hunt, and you don't got the money to buy a lease or to get on a lease, well, now you got to rely on door knocking, and just in the little bit of public land that you do have access to. You know, so I know some cats, in Texas, that's like, you know what, it really ain't. I won't hunt Texas. I'll go out and I'll go and hunt in Arkansas. I'll go hunt Oklahoma. I'll go to Kansas, whatever. They'll go to a different state. They just don't worry about hunting Texas, and it sucks because that's it limits a lot of cats from being able to hunt if you don't got the bread to travel.
Right. I heard something the other day too about Texas, man. I heard if you own at least 10 acres in the state of Texas, you can go out back, no matter if you're in the city, county, whatever, you can go out back, basically set up a gun range and have at it.
Not in city limits.
It's not in city limits.
That depends on what county you in, and all that. But I know where I stay. Well, I stay in the country, so I can I can do everything but shoot a gun, because I'm in the country, but my neighbors are close enough where you probably wouldn't want to shoot no gun out here. But I know
I
people that
got you.
do. But I just know where I live is super close it's super close. So some counties might be like that, but I know where county I stay in. Nah, you better not be shooting no gun in city limits at
I got
all.
you. It might be the county he was in, but he was telling me as long as if you own 10 acres or more, you can go out there and have at it.
I mean, but if you own 10 acres, I mean you got a nice little acreage, so you don't got neighbors right on top of you. I can tell you that.
Right, right. Yeah. And 10 acres, man. Up here in Kentucky, I don't know what it's going for in Texas. Acres up here, man, back in the day was going $4,000 or $5,000 an acre. They're going for 12 to 15
Shit, Texas,
easy up
it depends on
here.
what school district, school district your property in.
Yeah.
Everything, Texas football is king
Football.
around here,
Yep.
so yeah, it depends on what school district. If your school district is one of them ones that They building multi-million-dollar stadiums and they bringing in state championships and recruiting kids. Shit, the price breaker gonna be pretty high. Football team sorry, and people leaving the town. She might get a little, might get for a little cheap penny. This all depends.
Is Permian still the powerhouse down there? Or is
Hell
that
no,
just
hell no.
Friday
But
Night Lights type
so
thing?
this week is state championship week. It started yesterday, and man, it's some big games, bro. Some big games starting tomorrow. You got tomorrow's gonna be the 4A, 5A, and 6A playing. So you got Carthage, who's a powerhouse. They're going for their 12th state championship. You got South Oak Cliff. You got Duncanville, DeSoto, West Orange Stark. I forgot Lake Travis, North Shore. Man, you got some powerhouses, man, that are playing this weekend, man. It's gonna be some history made. Hell, it was history made. It was a Wednesday night. They had a cat in the 1A division. He had 546 rushing yards, 10 touchdowns,
Lord,
13 tackles, 2 interceptions. Right, he put on for the city.
wow, that's insane.
He put on for the city, man. And right now, DeSoto, they got a running back, and man, he has had a playoff run this year that, like, it probably won't be like no one's going on touch this kid's record. So first week of the playoffs, he had 9 carries, 158 yards, 3 touchdowns. Second game in the playoffs, he had 27 carries, 375 yards, 5 touchdowns. Third week of the playoffs, he had 24 carries, 202 yards, and 1 touchdown. And then the fourth game in the playoffs, he had 37 carries, 402 yards, 7 touchdowns. And then the last week, he had 38 carries, 166 yards, 3 touchdowns. Mind you, he playing in the big 6A divisions.
So he ain't playing against no scrubs.
No, not at all. They beat South Lake Curl last week. Matter of fact, they stopped South Lake Curl on the 1-yard line with 4 seconds left in the game. They get the ball. He take that joker 99 to the hut. Game over.
Game over. Ugh.
Bro, I was like, there's no better way to end the football game. And then people like wondering, like, man, like, why is this kid having such a breakout playoff run? Well, come to find out, his dad got out the pen the week before the first playoff game. So his dad ain't never seen him play football before.
He's trying to put on for his
He
daddy.
put on for his pops all play. Hey, pops might be going back, so let me put on while he out.
Yeah, that's dope though, man.
But yeah, so depending on where your property is, the price is going to depend on the school district, because the school district run everything around here.
Yeah, and the article too, man, it mentioned like that writer that got fired for criticizing the whole situation, and so
well you know what that is, don't you? All right, so check this out. So the billionaire that's in question, his name is James Cox Kennedy, right? So I'm just gonna call him Mr. Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy, he is a huge donor to Ducks Unlimited. A ton of money, giving hundreds of millions of dollars to Ducks Unlimited. Well, when I think the writer for Ducks Unlimited, his name is Don Thomas. Don Thomas blasted, he blasted the whole issue about the Ruby River battle, and and how it's ridiculous. And in return, Ducks Unlimited fired him shortly after the article got got published, and then they made the statement basically saying that their official stance was they remain focused on waterfowl conservation and held no official opinion on stream access laws. However, the article unfairly vilified a prominent member of the DU family. So it's saying, like, we worried about duck hunting. We don't care about stream access lawsuits. Like that ain't our our cup of tea. But we fired him because Mr. Kennedy, he lined our pockets. And
Yeah, he's a big
you
donor.
ain't finna talk about somebody that's putting money in our pockets. So you got to go. And I'm pretty sure Mr. Kennedy made a phone call. Either y'all get rid of him or I'm stop donating. I mean, it's money talks, like straight up. But like even that situation there, which is why there was a huge fallout about it, is because it says, okay, wait a minute now. So these conservation organizations pretty much back who gonna give the money. They don't. They all of a sudden they don't care about access. They don't. You're a conservation group, so you don't care about access but you do care enough that if one of your donors get upset, you'll fire somebody, even though what he said was right.
Yeah, that's scary, man. That means you gotta pretty much you walking on eggshells, man. Especially a writer. Like, I mean, you're supposed to write about stuff, wrongdoings, and whatever, and that's wrong. But he gets fired for it because that guy is lining ducks unlimited pockets, pretty much paying everybody's salary.
Oh, straight up. And like I said, after reading that, man, it made me question like what makes you a conservationist? Because if you read the article from Bowhunting Planet, I mean not Bowhunting Planet, my bad, bowhunters.com, you can the guy that wrote it, you can tell he's in favor of Mr. Kennedy because he was like, oh, well, we shouldn't look at him as a villain. That article that was written by on Facebook, it vilified him. He's a big donor. He's a big conservationist. He donates to this group and this group and this group. And he's just more in the lawsuit that he brought against Montana was just more so about liability, and he don't want to be liable for people getting hurt on his property. And it's like, dude, it's not your property. If I'm on the water, I'm good. As long as I don't drop an anchor or as long as I don't step on shore, it's not your property. The state even told you it's not your property. But then he gets like his lawyers, basically come out and say like his property was unconstitutionally taken from him. So what they said was, the primary argument made by Kennedy's legal team was that Montana's stream access law and its applications to his property constituted as unconstitutional taking of private property. Kennedy's lawyers argued that the land under the river, the water in the river, and the air above the river were all constitutionally taken from him. So he's saying, I own the air, the water, and the land. And it's like, no, that's not how the law was written.
Right.
And that's why the state overturned your lawsuit or threw it out.
And that's like in a lot of places. Like you don't own the water.
No. Dude, my brother-in-law, his buddy has a $9 million cabin on Green Lake in Minnesota. Every 4th of July, all summer, there are people all on that river. People set up on shore. I'm not sure, but they park their boats out. They get out. They chilling. People get upset with the boats being parked in the water. Oh, you're parked behind my house. I don't know. The state has come in and they've marked off the boundary. As long as we're not over that line, we good.
Right.
But they don't like it. Oh, well, you're blocking our view. I'm sorry. You bought a house on a popular lake. Sorry. You know what you were getting into when you bought it. And that's basically what Montana stated. They said, no, Kennedy purchased the land knowing that Montana law already recognized a dominant estate in favor of the public for water access. In short, you knew what you were getting into. You knew what you was getting into.
Yeah, you already knew.
Yeah. And the state owns the water in trust for the people, and the right to use the water includes the right to access to access it from public rights of the way. So that's the law. But the scary thing is you have people who have deep pockets that feel like the law does not
apply to them.
apply to them. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And people saying like, oh, it's not a big deal. I've seen a lot of people say it. It's not a big deal that he bought KUIU. But it is, man, because like, all right, cool. People can boycott the brand and go buy something else. That's fine. But then what happens when the next billionaire goes and buys the next big company? And then the next billionaire goes and buys the next company. And then the next company, and the next company. Now you have these big brands who then have even more money behind them that now they can influence a lot of change. Influence a whole lot of change. And it's kind of like, believe it or not, it's almost like a Trojan horse situation. Because what's the best way to break up or to knock down an empire?
Well, yeah, a lot of
the best way to do it, the fastest way is from the inside out.
From the inside out, yep.
So let's infiltrate this community. And the most precious thing in this community is land, public access. So now you have somebody who owns one of the biggest hunting brands in the industry who has a problem with access. That is not a good combination for something, because
it ain't a good combination.
No, because now he's already a billionaire, but I'm sure he has other billionaire friends. Billionaires roll together.
Yeah, they roll together.
They might be like, "Hey, man, one of these senators might come to him. Hey, man, we tried to get about 300 million acres this public shit turned over to private hands, and we couldn't do it. But with your money, we can."
Right. Yep.
And for the people that still go out and buy KUIU, now you're funding your own demise.
Yep.
Because it's an unpopular opinion, and I've talked about it before, but this is a direction towards privatized hunting, where you get a whole bunch of people who got a whole lot of money come in and get shit done, because people with money can get shit done. Like I said, money talks. So then you see a whole bunch of private land getting sold. I mean, a whole bunch of public land could possibly start turning over. It's not that far fetched to think. And then you have people saying like, "Well, no, I think that our community will come out and stand up," but I don't think so. I think if it happened that way, you're gonna have some people that's gonna continue to hunt, and other people won't. I don't think our society is built to fight back like that. I think we too comfortable. We too soft now. We'll fight back online. We'll write senators and write our state representatives, but I think that's as far as it'll go. If it came to actually having to put boots on the ground and actually defending what we say we love so much, physically, I don't think we will.
No. It kind of reminds me of like, there's a rapper that lives, well, he's from right up the road from us, and Louisville basically is like a war zone. It's like little Chicago now, but it's supposedly all stemming from this particular rapper. And you probably know who I'm talking about. If not, we'll talk about it on there. I ain't gonna mention no names, but supposedly, man, like if he's looking for dudes, man, like people that don't have no money or whatever, he'll go in the hood and be like, "Hey, I'm looking for so and so. Here's 25 racks. Just tell me where he's at." You know what I'm saying? And give him that money. Ain't no telling what's gonna happen to dude, but dude's got so much outreach and so much money that he can pretty much do what he wants to do in that city.
Yeah.
And it's like, my thing is too, like going back to the article, man, like me and you both got podcasts, a couple of our homies got podcasts or whatever, like does that concern you any but like a free like the whole free speech thing? Like, we get on here and we talk about whatever, man, but if we get on here and say the wrong thing about such and such, such and such with this brand, and he's got so and so behind him pushing this brand. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
does that concern you at all?
nope. Because well, do it concern me, Trey Reed,
Yeah,
Dreaded Archer? No,
yeah, no,
because I don't eat from this podcast.
right,
I
right.
don't like. I would love to, but I didn't. I didn't get. I didn't start this podcast to be to blow up and to have a million, you know what I'm saying, subscribers and a million fans and a ton of sponsors and having money coming in. Like, man, that should be nice. I ain't gonna lie to you. If it was given to me, I'd take it. But I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to sacrifice, you know what I'm
Your
saying,
beliefs,
my beliefs. I'm not going to throw that shit out for $1.
right?
I know what I believe in. I love this hunting shit. And if I see something wrong, I'm gonna say it. And if that costs me, you know what I'm saying, a sponsorship deal or to break out, then so be it. It is what it is.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I don't need office either, man. Like I said, I've mentioned this on 1,000 podcasts. I ain't doing this to get rich. It'd be dope. Yeah, if somebody offered it, yeah, I'm gonna take it. This ain't how I feed my family, but this is all I do this to tell my story and tell other people's story like you and different people, man. But no, that being said, what you just said though, does knowing who own who owns a brand affect whether you support it or not?
Me, yeah, a little bit. Because like I said, I don't want to fund my own demise. Now, does my little money that I stop is gonna change anything? No. But I would
Right.
like to believe that if people listen to my podcast and they hear what like my stance on something and why I chose to withdraw my money from a particular brand, I ain't telling them to go do it. I'm just saying this is why I'm doing it. Now, if they listen to me and say, you know what, that's a good point, I'm gonna pull my dollars. I would love to believe that I could get a bunch of people to follow me, but I'm not asking you to. I'm just saying, hey, look, I'm choosing not to do it. And truth be told, the type of person I am, you might not just hear it. I just might not say nothing. I just might just do it, and you won't see me in it. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of brands and people in the industry that I pulled my support from, not publicly. I just did it,
Hmm.
and a lot of times I feel like when cats do shit publicly, they just doing it for the attention. It ain't really for the cause.
The call, yeah.
To get the cause they say it is.
Because I know, like, there's a lot of, talking about the outdoor industry. Like, people say, why more people that are famous, like athletes and whatever, don't, speak out more about them being outdoorsmen or whatever. And I simply, say, in my opinion, it's because some of the sponsors they have are anti-hunting, whatever. They're gonna lose a lot of money out of their pockets. If they start talking about, I'm a hunter, I do this, I do that. You might have, one company that sponsors you, giving you $3 million a year. They gonna cancel you because they see you posting a picture with deer or turkey or whatever. So, in your mind, do you think like people are scared to speak out about issues like this one because of the money they're getting from certain sponsors?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because like let's just say you're sponsored by Ducks Unlimited. That's one of your big sponsors. I don't even know if they sponsor people, but this is just an example.
I'm sure they do.
So say you're a big duck hunter and Ducks Unlimited is one of your sponsors. I'm pretty sure you would stay far away from this issue as possible because you already seen what they did to the last guy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like dude, a lot of people don't want to ruffle feathers, bro. And that's understandable, man. Like I said, everybody get into this shit for different reasons. So for like, the the young content creator coming out who's trying to start his page or start a podcast. I like he's one of them people, he on the fence. Because he can pretty much go either way. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, and the stuff that I've seen in the past, the young guy not gonna say nothing because I'm trying to get my foot in the door.
Right. Yeah. He don't
The
want.
guy,
Yeah.
the guy that's already got his foot in the door is not gonna say nothing because my foot in the door. I this is how I feed my family. So I don't expect you to voice your opinion that's going to affect your household. That's dumb because you can speak out, and yeah, people gonna be like, "Oh, I'm glad you spoke out." But shit, when rent due and mortgage due, the same people that was applauding you for speaking out, you gonna look back and they gonna be gone. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't expect you to step out on a limb and sacrifice your livelihood for some people that don't really give a damn about you.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, it should do depending on what organization is backing what. Yeah, I can see people are afraid to step out and say shit. But like going back to your the subject of talking about athletes and famous people in the outdoors, I don't necessarily think that they're worried about their Nike sponsorship or anything like that. I don't think it's that
What
because
do you think it is then?
a lot of them it's the community, bro.
Well,
that
yeah, you're right.
the actual community picks and chooses who gets famous in this shit or who's big in this shit. So if you have a guy like Bo Jackson, who's a big hunter and big conservationist, come out and speak out, most guys in the community ain't gonna respect it. Oh, you a football player, bro? Stick to playing football.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the only
Yep.
reason you get to hunt and do all that shit because you got all that money from football. You didn't come up grassroots. We have so much infighting when it comes to that shit. So like, oh, you're not a real hunter. You just got money. But then you got other guys who, you know, they come out and speak about they hunting experience after they done playing football. So they got a lot of cats they got introduced to the outdoors first, and then people found out later on that they played football.
Yeah.
That's
That make
different.
yeah makes yeah that's big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I get that because I mean there's always fighting going on amongst this community, man, with each other, man. Like somebody posts a picture of a spike or a doe or something, you get in them comments, man. It's like, why'd you shoot that deer? I remember my first deer. I did this. Why you shoot this? And I remember when I shot baby, and like instead of congratulating the person, I mean it's 1,000 comments just tearing the person down. Like, and I can see why some people don't want to, don't want to enter the space because all the negativity.
Yep. Yeah. It's a ton of negativity, and man, it's about. I mean, I'm not gonna. I guess it's not next man up, but it's just like I don't. The industry picks and chooses who they want to be their spokesperson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you ain't the right voice, then anybody gonna support you. So, like I said, a lot of people recognize that or realize that, and they say, well, I won't say nothing publicly. I'll fight from the from backstage. And then you got some guys that's willing to they'll put their career on the line for it.
Yeah,
I said
you're right.
it all depends on who paying your bills.
Who paying
I
your
see
bills, right?
the guys that are speaking up the most are guys who pave their own way.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Vanilla can come out and say what he want to say because he own Meat Eater.
Right. Right. You right. I don't think he wouldn't. I don't think he'd be as public, like you said, if he didn't own it. If somebody was
No,
paying, like
yeah,
you said, if somebody was paying his bills, he kind of be. But he owns it. He can say what he wants to say.
bro. You know who got the power Well, the way you know who has the power is based on who you can and can't talk about. If you know who you can't talk about, that's people that got the power. So I mean, this whole thing, like, I feel like both articles from Bowhunter Planet, and I keep saying Bowhunter Planet, from bowhunters.com, and then what's the who I forgot the guy that wrote it on Facebook. What do they call, like, Rack Attack or
It's like Bo. Well, hold on. I just seen it. Something junkies, wasn't it? Rack junkies. Is that what it's called? Rack
Rack
junkies.
Junkies.
Rack
Both
junkies. Yeah.
both articles are poorly written because, like, the one from bowhunters.com, I'm not gonna say it's poorly written, but it's definitely in the favor of the billionaire. You can tell that the guy that wrote the article, uh, Justin Czar, he's definitely in favor of,
Ducks
you know what I'm
Unlimited.
saying, the the billionaire James Kennedy. Definitely in favor of him. Say, man, we shouldn't vilify him. You know, he is a conservationist. He is a big donor to these organizations. So, you know, give him some slack. It's like, no,
Yeah.
we're not. No, because if we got to give him slack, then all we do is open up the doors for other guys to come in and do what the hell they want to do. And then they can say, hey, look, man, I'm no villain. I donated a shit ton of money to conservation. And that's why I said it begs the question. What makes you a conservationist? Is it are you out actually doing the work, or do you just donate a bunch of money? I can see I'm not blinded. I can see they both go hand in hand because you really can't do a lot of conservation work if you ain't got the funding.
Right. You gotta have a machine behind you.
Yeah, you got to have a machine behind you. But does that give you leeway? Can I if I donate $100 million to um Ducks Unlimited, does that make me that give me leeway to kind of do what I want to do in the outdoor space? Can I go against the grain?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like, think about it. If you get 10 multi-billionaires and they all donate to conservation groups, but then they turn around the next year and support a bill that's going to limit access to public land to the common hunter, do they get leeway for that? Do you say, "Oh, don't you got man, dude? They're conservationists." Because if you're on that side, then you got to leave them alone, dude. They're conservationists, and that to me that's bullshit. That means money, and that means in this industry, money talks. And like I said, I am not I'm not opposed to that. I understand that rule. Money do talk.
Yeah. Money does talk. So what do you think? Like, if hunters, conservationists, don't speak up about these type issues like access, public land, 10 to 20 years, where we gonna be?
Begging for a place to hunt. Oh, not begging, paying to go hunt somewhere.
Paying to go hunt. Yep.
Yeah,
You
like,
ain't got
dude,
no private.
dude, it is not a far out idea to think that in 20 years that if some people in power really wanted to do something, like if there's like, you know what, man, let's the people that's gonna hunt, they gonna pay to hunt. The ones that want to do it, they gonna pay it. Let's make this shit privatized. Shit, sell off, 400 or 500 million acres of federal hunting land and make it all privatized hunting outfitters. There's outside of writing your senators, getting online and talking about it. If some people in power really want to do it, there's nothing we can do about it. Honestly, I mean, there's something we could do about it, but how many people are actually willing to do it? Because we're already a marginalized community.
Yeah. Yeah, you
So
preaching now,
I
dog.
mean, we what we got is we got to start putting people in power that really support the outdoors, and not just say they do it; they have a record of doing it.
Yeah, record of doing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
say that all the
yeah,
time,
you gotta
man.
have a record of doing it. I can get on the microphone and say some shit all day long. Oh yeah, if you guys vote me in, I'll make sure that the government never touches your public land. And then you vote me in, and then but you look at my track record, I ain't got no record of ever standing up for conservation. And then
Hmm.
I get in these back rooms, and them boys get talk about the munions, and then my mind get to changing.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, money will money will make you go do some crazy things.
They can steal from your brother.
For the love of money.
People will kill their own mother. Money, 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 money.
Hey, OJ's killed that one.
I didn't even know that was the OJs until like
That's the
years after
OJ,
watching the
man.
movie.
That's the OJ, man.
I thought it was a bunch of random homeless dudes on us.
No. Well, the song was the OJs. You had, I think, in the movie, you had Gerald Levert that was singing. I don't know who the other
Gerald
two
Levert was
cats
the one at
was.
the end.
Yeah, but his daddy Eddie is the original member of the OJs.
Yeah,
So yeah,
but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about you know these millionaires buying up these brands. Because and what I don't know is I don't. What's the end goal?
yeah. What's your yeah?
What's the end goal? Because you think about it, dude, you are tied to one of the biggest land debates in the country.
Mm-hmm.
The Ruby River Roar is big. So it's not like you was gonna buy it and people not gonna know. So you bought it with the goal of doing what?
Yeah, what's your intent behind this?
Then you got to think about this. If you were the owner of KUIU, why would you sell to this guy?
True. How much is KUIU worth?
Man, it's a private company. You'll never know. You will never know.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm with you though. Like, what is the point? Like, what's the end goal with this? Like, you just bought it for what reason?
Who knows? But it also begs a question, man. Like, and this is just a question to cats in the outdoor industry, hell, in the outdoor community. Do we want our brands getting political? Like
Mhm.
outside, like if it ain't if it's not involved, if the issue is not involved in the outdoor community, if it's not going to affect the outdoor community, do we still want our brands getting political?
My answer is no, but I guess 98 probably percent of outdoorsmen are Republicans.
Yeah,
So they're already thinking political anyway. So they definitely want somebody in office, like you said, that even if they just talk about the outdoors instead of having the track record. I mean, they're already going to talk about it. So you get somebody in there that has no clue about the outdoors. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a double edged sword. I feel like.
yep. I mean, it's 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 crazy. That's all I can say, man. Like because eh, like I said, when I first heard about the article and I first read it, I didn't like. It's like, why do people care that he bought KUIU? It's a brand. All right, cool. He bought it. You don't like him. Don't support the brand and leave it at that. But that my mind then goes to what was the reason for buying the company other than okay, cool, you bought one of the top hunting brands in the country, cool, you own that. But like, is he gonna use that to push his agenda?
Supposed to, yeah, exactly. Yep. And next week it'd be, somebody else buying Sitka or somebody else buying Mossy Oak, somebody buying Real Tree, like Mark Cuban buys Sitka. Like like what's your end goal? Like why? Like what are you gonna do with this? So yeah, I get it. Yeah. It's crazy, man. But yeah, I definitely wanted to get on here and chat about it a little bit because I feel like it's about to blow up pretty soon.
Oh man, yeah. Like I'm just, I know it's gonna be a bigger storm. Well, I would imagine it would be a bigger storm, but I know how like our society is now, and bro, our attention to shit will quickly go by. Like it wasn't too long ago we was talking about saving public land, saving the federal public land. Boom, the bill gets shot down, and you hear nothing else about it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have there's a small percent of people in the industry that's hey, we got to be more proactive. We got to stop being reactive. We got to be you know boots on the ground, going do something, knocking on doors, talking to people, doing this, getting out as a community, and trying to win over the people in the middle. Therefore, if this shit come back up, we got a stronger fight. But again, shit hit the media cycle. It runs its course, and then you hear nothing else about it from the
Yep.
majority.
Yep. Until it gets brought back up, then everybody's up in arms about it. Yep.
Like I said, but he could buy the land for influence because think about this. Now I own the biggest hunting brand, so when I walk in a room and says, "Hey, I think you know, I back Senator Mike Lee's bill to sell what you call it to sell off some to sell off federal public land." Now, if I'm a guy in the middle and I see somebody who owns one of the biggest brands in the industry come out and say they support Mike Lee, well, shit, he might influence me to swing my vote.
Right. I'm gonna follow suit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just who really influences conservation? I guess out of all this shit that came out of this article, that's my biggest question. Who really influences conservation? Is it the people actually doing the work or the people with the money?
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Trey Reed, aka the Dreaded Archer's take on this article. If y'all want to read more about this article, where can they find it at?
They can find it at bowhunting.com. And it's titled "The Billionaire, the Bridge, and the Brand: Making Sense of the KUIU Backlash."
What's up? Well, Mr. Trey, I appreciate you coming on here to give us your 2 cents about this, man. I think it's about to blow up pretty soon. I think everybody's gonna be talking about this probably the next week or so. So
Man, I swear, I'm gonna tell you something now. TikTok be slow. TikTok be slow to shit because man, I'll see something, I'll make a video on it, put it out, and it'll get it'll do well, and it'll be like 2 weeks later, all of a sudden, the big guys are talking about it, and I feel like with that, and this is just my opinion, I don't know shit about this, but I feel like the big brand, like the big guys, they got to go to their sponsors. Hey man, y'all care if I talk about this? Then they get approval
and
or
then they
denied,
go
and then they talk about it or they don't.
right. Well, I don't know if we're the first to talk about it yet, but we might be. But if we do, you heard it here first, folks.
Right?
You heard it here first. So yeah, man, I appreciate you hopping on, man. And if I don't see you or talk to you before then, which I will, but for all y'all listeners out there, have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy hunting.
For sure.
Big game, small game, all game. We do this too.
Peace.